Welcome, Cody. Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Hi. Good afternoon, my beautiful people. How's everybody feeling today? Everyone's feeling good? Hi, welcome. Welcome to It Takes a Village with Jess every Sunday at 2 p.m. Hi, everyone. Hello. Thank you for the fave. Hi, everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. Just giving everyone a chance to come in. Welcome. I know you lying, Booyah. Oh, Lord. Here we go. We going to put up, let's put up a goal. Let's be a little toxic today. Me? Let's be a little. Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for the faves. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Welcome to my show every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. It's called It Takes a Village with Jess at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So you guys must be wondering, right? What is this? What is the show about? So let me give you a little insight. It's called It Takes a Village with Jess, right? I always say there is no perfect book to be the perfect parent to teach us about parenting. Even our wagwan, even our parents, right? Even our parents, they didn't have a perfect book to teach us. So we learn as we go. We are shaped by our experiences. So I always say it takes a village. So today we are going to talk about our parenting. We're going to talk about our stories. We're even going to talk about our upbringing. So people on our show talk about their story, their upbringing, about what happened to them as our children, about their trials and tribulations, about the people that brought us into their world, also what molded us. So with that being said, we're going to speak about our truth, whether that was a village of 1 or 1,000. So before we get into our guest today, this is my safe home. So if you guys never been into my stream, this is my safe home. I protect my guests at all costs. So be on your best behavior. With that being said, you see those people in red. Um, they protect my guests and they protect me. So there are no warnings. Don't block your blessings. So with that being said, please be on your best behavior, because once you are on your block list, I do not unblock you. So with that being said, just enjoy the show. Um, that's what I'm going to say. So enjoy the show, learn from these amazing people, enjoy. This is their testimony. Please be respectful. And throughout the show, I will not be able, I know you lying, Booyah, I will not be able to say hi to everyone. So with that being said, this is my time to say hi to everyone. So what's up, East Coast? Hello, Majestic. Hello. I choose you, Majestic, today, yesterday, tomorrow, every day. I choose you. Boo Boo, I love you. Booyah, no. Um, Nay, I see you. Welcome to my guest. Um, to my guest, Magical Stallion. I see you. Thank you so much for being part of this. Jen, I appreciate you so much for being part. Guys, thank you for the gifts. I will not be able throughout my show to say thank you, but shout out to my top 3 gifters. All right, Pretty Venom, Boo Boo, Jen, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to my top 3 gifters again. So with that being said, thank you guys. Thank you. Can we talk? I see you. Thank you. Thank you guys for the faves. Okay. So, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for these amazing guests. They're just, I don't see it. So magical. So Ronnie, this is a featured show. Once again, please be on your best behavior. I do have bouncers. Yeah. Oh, and disclaimer, guys, grab your tissues. Please grab your tissues. Thank you. If you guys want to be on, I'm sorry, East Coast. If you guys want to be on the show, just hit me up on IG and you guys can be on my show. Yes. GQ, I see you made it. If you guys want to be on my show, just hit me up. And it's just about you. Okay? So, you're not crying, I'm crying. Yes, I will be crying. So, once again, the show is about It Takes a Village. We're going to be talking about our village, whether it was about our parents raising us, or about our story about our parenthood. Okay, please be on our best behaviors. We will kick, once you're on that blacklist, you will not be off that blacklist. All right, so our first guest, Stallion. All right, let's go.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Good, you look so nice.
You look amazing, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so before we get into anything, I want everyone to know, where can they find you streaming?
So I've got a featured show as well. It's called Best Expressed, and it's every Tuesday at 5 p.m. EST. It's a show about talent on the app, and a lot of people from all around the world come and join us and have a good time. Really.
It really is amazing. If you guys haven't caught it, make sure you guys hit him with a fave. It's always a good time. I wish, oh my gosh, you guys don't understand. He is always dancing. It's a good time. It's like a party in there. So you guys have to hit him up with a fave. It is amazing. Oh my God.
That's
I wish I can sing. If I can sing, I would be there. It's amazing. So, what time do you usually stream?
Um, Streaming around this time actually. I tend to work normally during the day, and then I tend to stream in the evenings when I come home. But I've just started a new job lately, and getting streaming in there as well has been quite hectic. So I try and stream as much as possible, but I tend to do it about 2-3 times a week.
Okay. All right. So, can you guys give a warm of a welcome? Can I see the unicorns? Can you guys show him some love? Welcome him. Let me see the unicorns. Run up the unicorns and show him that he is welcome. I know you lying, Kenny. Well, we want some unicorns. Thank you guys. All right. So, I like everyone to know. So everyone that's in my show, I always like a little discovery. All right. So I was a young mom. So are you a parent? I was at 21. Are you a parent yet?
I'm not a parent, no, no.
Okay. So with that being said, then everyone that's just coming into my stream, welcome. Is It Takes a Village with Jess. So my village, I was a young mom. So in the beginning, my grandmother helped me raise my son, and as I got sick with lupus, my parents helped me. So who was your village growing up?
So, small family. My mom and dad, and I just have one brother who's 6 years older than me.
Mhm.
And growing up, I grew up in a country called Kenya in Africa, and it's a third world country. Things were quite tough for us. We didn't have a lot at all. Um, in fact, there were times where we had close to nothing. But we always managed somehow. We always managed out. My parents were amazing, totally
Amazing.
amazing.
So that
Um,
is That is amazing. That is, you know what, guy, most people probably didn't even know that about you. So, with that being said, if you don't mind, right? Because this is a show about your village. So, tell us, what was it, Ruby? What was it growing up? So, most people want to know, what was it like growing up in a third world country? Take us there with you, Magical.
You know what? Kenya is a beautiful country. It's an absolutely stunning country. Unfortunately, it was overcome a lot by corruption, and people struggled. You know, the mixture between the rich and the poor is really massive. Like the difference between that is really really big. So a lot of a lot of poor people were struggling there, and they would there would be a lot of petty theft, petty robbery, you know, carjackings, people's houses being robbed. And where we grew up, it was a town center. It was right in the heart of Kenya. It's a little town, it's a city called Nairobi. And you know, my parents had good jobs. They worked really really hard, but still it's tough out there. It's really really tough, especially back, you know, at that time. um, and they raised me and my brother up in the town center. um, I don't know if you guys know, but in the 80s there was a coup in Kenya as well. So we were really young when that happened. And a coup is where the army tried to take over the country. So they use a lot of force and lots of, you know, lots of things that you don't expect to see. We saw with our own eyes, and it was really really tough. My parents were really really worried at that time. Um, so it was a tough child. It was a tough childhood. It was an absolutely tough childhood. But like I say, we didn't have much. We didn't have much at all. But we had what we lacked in money, we made up in, you know, in love, and you know, we were such a good family. We're still a good family till today.
Hmm.
Um, so Kenya, even till today, still struggles with a lot of petty crime. Um, and especially in Nairobi, there were, you know, there were endless times where we were robbed. I've had a knife put to my stomach before. I've had all sorts of different things. I've seen a whole bus stop of people being robbed. You know, just for the sake of money. So there's lots of different things that we didn't have the opportunity to have, but with everything that we did in our lives, we just made, you know, we just made the most of it.
I can only imagine. So, welcome y'all to It Takes a Village with Jess. A Magical is taking us, Stallion is taking us on a trip of what it felt like being raised, right, in a third world country. And his parents did amazing. And look at who you are, right? You are an amazing soul. I guess one of my questions, right, which most people, I can only imagine, right, because my family's from Puerto Rico and I was raised up in the country, right, with bare minimum, but it makes me appreciate the little things in life. So I guess, does growing up in a third world country make you appreciate the little things? And does it make you strive for things that you've never had?
Absolutely. You know, it's ridiculous. Like I moved to UK when I was in my 20s, late 20s. Um, having traveled to parts in Europe, you know, Portugal, Holland. I traveled quite a bit. Um, having moved to UK, there's just so many things that you don't realize. You guys, you know, we take for granted here. I don't have to look over my shoulder when I'm walking outside at night, for example. You know, it's something like that. I don't have to think twice about, you know, leaving belongings in a car or driving somewhere. It's just the simple things where, you know, for us it's not so simple in Kenya. You know, so it's things have changed, things have improved now, but it's still quite bad. It's still quite bad. depending on where you go. I know there's places in UK that are like that, that are still rough, as you would get in any country really. Um, but it when it happens in Kenya, it's a struggle because the police, for example, are not as responsive. The government is corrupt, so there's all sorts of different things that would affect everything. And like healthcare and everything, it's not as great. So if
Mhm.
anything happens to you, you're basically you're struggling. You'd struggle. So those are the things I'm really grateful for
I
being
can
in
only
UK.
imagine. I can't even imagine you being a kid and having a knife pulled out on you. You know what I mean? Those are things that we take for granted, your safety. So
Yeah,
that's crazy. Um I want to say that's probably what's the hardest part of your upbringing. So I would have to say is it's that, right?
it
It's just
is.
survival.
Well, it's down to survival. Yes, there were times where I saved my brother's life, um, where he was ganged up with by thieves, and all they were trying to do is just trying to rob him of money, but they almost took his life several times. This 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 was the kind of petty crime that I'm talking about. It sounds like it was petty, but it was dangerous. It was absolutely dangerous. Our lives were at risk. Um, and it got to a point where we couldn't live like that anymore. So um, luckily, my parents were in a position where they could get us out of the country, and here we are today.
Yeah, look at you. Um so, and how long has it been since you've seen your brother in Kenya?
So I'm quite lucky because he comes to UK every year.
Mhm.
Um, he's happy now. He's still in Kenya, but he travels a lot to Europe, and he comes to UK. So I'm quite lucky. So I see him every year. And my parents live in another town in the UK as well. It's about 3-4 hours away from here. So it's quite nice to have the family quite close. So
That's
I'm
uh,
really lucky.
that is so awesome. I guess another question for you though is what was the biggest culture shock growing up in Kenya, then moving to different places?
That was a massive culture shock. So, so growing up in Kenya, lovely people, really, really lovely people, really friendly, really, it's all about the food and everything. The vibe is amazing. People are into the music there. Atmosphere is really, really, so powerful there. But um, having coming out of a country where everyone is really, really lovely and really friendly and everything. I moved to UK and I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anyone when I came here with my mom. Most of the people who I knew were like in their 70s, 80s. They were not people who I could socialize with,
Mhm.
and they were really lovely. But the first thing I did when I came to UK is I got a job that was selling stuff door to door.
Mhm.
And I knocked on one street. I remember knocking on one street in, and I knocked about 20 doors in a row. And every door I knocked to try and sell them things, these people all sounded different. Every single door I knocked on everyone sounded very different. The accents were from different parts of UK, but they all sounded different. So I couldn't understand them for starters. They knew a lot more about what I was selling them than I did. So just straight away, I had a massive culture shock. It's not every day that I get to go somewhere new and try to figure out what people are saying, because that was really, really tough for me. Um, Apart from that, it's just the way of living. Every single thing when it comes to living, um, it's just different, very different.
Yeah, I bet. I can only imagine. It is. So there's a question here too. It's let's see. I guess okay, how about this? What advice do you have for other families who aren't financially stable but they are full of love?
Well, I'm quite lucky to still have that till today, you know, with the love that we have in my family. Even no matter how far we are from one another, we know that we got each other's backs, and that's for me. I was raised up really really well by my parents, and my brother, who's 6 years older than me, was has always been my like my role model. So you know, we had nothing when my parents got married. They moved into a house, and all they had after they got married was a bed and a table. That's all they had, literally. So from coming from that to where we are now, it's a massive, massive, massive. You know, it's life changing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, raised up with when we stayed in a flat, we lived in a flat. My dad and mom were in the same room as us. You know, it was tough. Things were tough, but we were raised, really well. We were raised with love. Everyone we knew in the building didn't have much, but we'd always meet up together. We'd have dinners. We'd cook for one another. We'd have great, you know we'd have singing and dancing. It'd just be amazing. And that's something that money can't buy. That's something that you can never buy with money. It's just how it's the more precious things in life.
I always say that it's the little things in life.
It
Okay.
is.
Oh, that one got me. Okay. Um, all right. What lessons have you learned from your parents that you want to pass on to your children if you want any?
My parents, growing up with almost nothing, taught me, and they taught me to just be grateful for what you have. It's really, really important to be grateful for what you have, because in this day and age, you can have something today and tomorrow will be gone. You know, Same with people. You can have them today in your life, and tomorrow they'll be gone. So be grateful. Be grateful for everything that you have. Um, and they also taught me that you know no matter how big a problem is, there's always something in this lifetime. There's always someone who's suffering more than you are. There's always someone who's going through something that's harder than yours. So no matter what you're doing in your life, just be just think for a while. Just stop for a second and just think what you know there's so much more to bad things. There's so many good things that are above the bad things.
Tony said, "Blessed is human." I'm hugging you right here. We're hugging you, Stallion, right here. Oh my gosh. Okay. Two more, and I'll let you be traveling.
Sorry
Um,
about the noise, by the way. So on Thursday,
uh-huh. No.
we got six dogs already. Um,
Um,
but our mommy gave birth to six puppies as well on Thursday. So we have 12 dogs now. But
uh,
on Thursday, I played midwife for
That's
one of
right.
the
He had
puppies.
babies, y'all. He had babies. I remember. I told him to give me some babies. He did. He's a puppy. He's a puppy dad. Make sure you guys favorite Stallion here. He's amazing. Yes, give us some puppies. Two more questions and then I'll let you be. Because you got me emotional. I said I was gonna do good. I hope you guys grabbed your tissues. I'm trying to be strong here. All right. All right. How do you define home, Stallion? What is home to you? How do you define home?
Home for me is not a place. Home is where people are. Home for me is where the people you love are. And I've had to move home quite a lot in my life. I've had to move place to place for almost all my life. I have. But where my family is, where my loved ones are, that's home for me. That's where I know I'm safe. That's where I know I can be myself. You know,
Mm,
that's what home is to me.
yeah, me too. Home is where my son is. I said, as long as I have that love I know he's good. That's home for me. So I'm with you too. I lived out of garbage bags for a little bit, and I said as long as I can live in a cardboard box, as long as I have him, I that's home for me. So I'm with you 100%. That is home for me. So I'm with you. And I guess my question, my last one before I let you go, because I'm about to like, I'm trying to be real strong here. You got me. Um,
Doing well.
I am, right? I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Doing
Is
good.
how would you like to be remembered in your parents' eyes?
Um, I'd just like them to be proud of what I've achieved in my life, and for them to know that I have done everything that they've taught me, in the best of my ability. And I think in lots of ways they do. I think they are proud of me. And I think, that's a really good question, actually. That's a really, really good question. Um, yeah, I just like to make them proud. I think that it's important. What they've taught me, I'll always take it wherever I go. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter who I meet, how I've been raised by them. It's a mirror effect. It's how you get to understand and know people through how I've been raised. So I've got that to thank, to my parents have raised me right. And it's just about respect. It's about, showing understanding. um, my parents' door was always open to anyone who had, doesn't matter what problem they had, they would always come. And the door was always open, anyone could come in. um, and if I can take that in this lifetime right now, and make something of it, then I know I'm doing something right.
Um, I think right as your fellow featured family, I can speak even as a fellow streamer. Um, I think you're doing just right by them. I think you've created such a great community, Stallion. I think you've done such an amazing to create a family and such a safe haven too for people. You make this streaming world such a better place. And I only know that too for us. Behind the scene, you guys don't know. We have a little featured family. When I'm going through things that you guys don't even know, we have this little circle. Stallion was there during my hardest times, going through my grandfather. He reached out. So I just want to say thank you for being there during my hardest times. So I think that your parents did right by you. Your village is amazing in real life and in the streaming world. I think your parents are proud of you. So you've done right by them and by us. So thank you so much.
Thank you
And
so
thank
much.
you for being part of my village too. So thank you. If you guys don't have him favored, um, you're missing out on a blessing. So definitely favorite him because you guys don't even know what you're missing out on. Anything that you have going on, anything?
Um, just my show. You guys are very really welcome. Just check out my show. It's on Tuesday at 5 p.m. EST. Best Expressed. It's just a fun place to be. We've got amazing people, not just in the box, but in the comments as well. So it's a great place to meet people. And we have talent from all around the world. So there's dancers, magicians, musicians, singers, you name it, any kind of talent. We even have artists who come in and they show their work. So it's about bringing people together. Really, that's what we aim to do. We aim to bring people together and have a good time while doing it. This app is an amazing platform for having the ability to bring people from around the world. And even though there's lots of differences with with where people are from, how they're how they are raised, how what their background is. We all come together and we make it an amazing place. So thank you for having me.
He really, thank you so much for being here. If you guys don't have him, Faith, thank you. Now we have Jen. So thank you so much for being part of it. Now we have a part two. But before you go, I have E. Can you give me Magical's part of his little thing here? Give me 1 second. Let me he's supposed to have given it to me real quick. But when I first started this show, thank you, Moons. Welcome everyone to It Takes a Village with Jeff. Where is it? Oh, you slid it here.
Yeah, I didn't want to scream.
All right, so he didn't tape it. Thanks. I thought he did it, so I guess not. My son was supposed to do it, but you are part of my village, and it's my hand. So eventually, it's gonna be a hand full of hands. So you are part of my village. My son didn't finish the hand, but yes, you are part of my village. So this is it. You got your little unicorn there. So
I
you
love
are part
that.
of my village. So it's gonna be a wall full of hands of everyone who is part of my village. So you are officially part of my village. So yes. So this
Thank you
is
so
you.
much.
You're part of my village. So
That is so
yes.
sweet.
So
Thank
I'm
you.
excited. So yes, so now you are officially part of my village, Nemo. So yes, this is you. So eventually, once I have it all hooked up, because my son definitely didn't do it correctly. So once it's done, I will send you a picture, and you're officially going on my wall. So thank you so
Thank you.
much. So thank you.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's been a real honor. Amazing show,
Thank
Jessica.
you
Thank
so
you.
much. Make sure you guys favorite him. He's amazing. All right. All right, guys. Welcome to It Takes a Village with Jess. Um, whew, that was a tough one. It wasn't hot enough.
It wasn't hard.
I need you to do that again. Because we have the amazing. Is you turned it on?
Yeah, I just returned it on.
It tells you when to put it on because we got Jen here. You can't be doing that. We have welcome everyone to It Takes a Village with Jess. You guys probably like, what is this about? I'll tell you what it's about. It's about people coming together, sharing their stories. We all have a story where we came from, right? There's no perfect book how to be the perfect parent. Our parents didn't have the book. Um, and it kind of makes us who we are. It's our testimony, and we're not just streamers, right? Thank you, Paul. We're not just streamers. We have a story on who we are, and this kind of gives us a platform. So thank you guys so much for being part of my show. Thank you. If you guys are interested, make sure you guys hit up my DMs. Panda, hello. So to be part of it. So shout out to my top 3 gifters. We have Steph, we have Groovy's private dancer, and we have GQ. Thank you so much. So this next person, she is amazing. We've been talking. We've been in tears. She's just amazing. If you guys do not know who she is, she's Jen Cactus. Yes, she is just something else. So if you guys don't know who she is, make sure you guys run up those cactuses. Put it up, put it up, put it up. Hey, hey, hey. She had me in tears already. I had to put waterproof mascara on, everything. She is something else. All right. So first and foremost, what I need you guys to know, everybody in red, make sure you guys have your buttons ready. So like this, you guys have to be respectful to my guest. Um, she's gonna be sharing her story. And with this being, she's gonna be vulnerable. This is her story, this is her testimony, and she's gonna be helping a lot of people. And Jen, I hope that you're ready. I'm gonna be crying, Booyah. I know. Let me okay. So before I do that, welcome to everyone to It Takes a Village. Daily affirmation. Ready? I trust my parenting skills. What works for someone else may not work for us. All right. I trust my parenting decision. What might work for someone else might not work for us. So that is my tip of the day. All right.
You're
Hi.
done crying. Really?
I'm already going to start crying. Hi, beautiful.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. All right. Before anything, how are you?
I'm trying to breathe.
Let's breathe together. But before
Okay.
anything, let everyone know who you are and when can they catch you streaming.
I'm Jen Cactus, and I'm slacking on my streaming lately, so please forgive me. We typically stream about 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm having my house renovated right now, so it's been a disaster the last few months, but I'm getting back to it, and we do game nights on Saturdays, so we'll be back at it soon. Yes, Cactus
Ooh.
Feud if you want to play. Not
Oh,
featured, but we have a lot of fun.
oh, we're gonna be there. We love that, right, Boo Boo? Write that down in the calendar. We're gonna be there. We're gonna be there. All right. So I am excited. So we favorite. Thank you, Moons. We're gonna write that. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna jump into that. So before anything, Jen, we like people to kind of know a little bit about you. So I always say I was a young mom. I was 20, 21. How old were you when you first became a mom without going into too much detail
Yeah,
first?
I was 22 when I first had my daughter. She'll be
All right.
14 now this year.
No, they grow up fast. And how
They
many
do.
children do you have?
3 total.
Okay. And tell me a little bit, and I only have one, and tell me about your village. So I was a village of, it was me and my son, and my grandmother helped me raise him while I worked. Then when I had my stroke and my lupus, my parents helped me. So my village kind of changed throughout my life. How about you?
Mine definitely changed. So when I had my daughter, a year later I got married. So I had a lot of his family. He had a really big family, but I have a really small family. And a lot of what happened with my story and with the marriage, I didn't really have my family a part of my village per se. And so I think I didn't become actually closer with my family till after we split up. But for me, it's basically my mom, my sister, and my grandparents.
Mm, yeah. So you see, it's amazing how your village kind of changes throughout your life. No one ever prepares you for that. So, Jen, what's your story and grow? So I guess is what is your story? What is it being a mom of three? And let's get into it. So who is Jen? What is Jen's story?
Okay, I guess we'll start from the beginning part. So when I was 16, I was sexually assaulted. And for me, sorry, I'm shaking.
That's okay, baby.
For me, that really set in my anxiety, my depression, all that. And I had a hard time growing up with the split of my own parents and everything like that. Sorry, I'm
You don't
trying to
have
breathe.
to apologize. It's just
Um,
me.
I had a really hard time. And for me, I struggled with the meaning of life and why I was here and um, if I even wanted to be here. And not that long after, I decided that I was going to down a bottle of pills and I was going to take my life. And I woke up and it was the worst feeling. Um, I didn't tell my parents about what happened for a while, and I didn't bring my tissues.
Okay.
And
That you're doing great.
I finally spoke up one day and I told my mother. So I was raised by my father. My mother, me and my sister were stepsisters, so, or half sisters, sorry. And so she got my older sister and my dad got me. So my dad raised me. And it was really hard growing up with a father. Being a woman, you need those like womanly things that a mother tells you. And so I was at my father's house and I called my mom and I told her what I did and I told her why. And she told my dad, and they worked on things to help me better myself, put me in therapy, things like that. But I struggled with a lot of that throughout life and then tend to get myself into abusive relationships. I put myself in those bad relationships. I don't know why. I think a lot of it stemmed from I grew up with an abusive mother. She was an alcoholic. It kind of ran in my family with alcoholics, and then I ended up marrying an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time I was 18, me and my ex-husband at that point got pregnant. And the abuse, the physical, the emotional, the verbal abuse was bad from the beginning. And for me, I really struggled into, do I deserve better? This is all, I do deserve. I should stay here. We got to the point of, they told me different things were wrong with the baby, that it was an ectopic pregnancy, that there were things wrong, that I should have an abortion, all these different things. And I was going through all of the abuse in the relationship. I got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore and I had an abortion. Now, I can remember vividly being there and having that done and not being able to speak up and say no. It's one of my biggest regrets. I wish I never did it, but in that moment, it was something that I needed to do. It's a very hard topic because a lot of people don't agree on it, but I feel like a woman needs to do what she needs to do, and it's her choice. When I turned 20, I ended up getting pregnant again. This was before we got married, and I was probably 9-10 weeks, and I miscarried. And I had a really hard time thinking that I was being punished for what I had done prior. And I struggled with that a lot. And so, sorry.
Don't say sorry.
Sorry, I keep saying sorry.
Don't say sorry, because then you're gonna make me cry even more.
So, at 22, I got pregnant with my daughter, and I had a hard time still. I was still going through the abuse. I was still going through the verbal abuse, everything. And the moment I had her was like a whole change in my life. It was, I could never imagine losing my, like, I could never imagine committing suicide. I could never imagine taking my life and not being in her life. And she was the one, like, that was my proud moment. It was like, I felt like my meaning came, like, I felt like I'm here for a reason. I'm here for her. This is why I'm supposed to be here. I was here to be a mom. It was the one thing in my life that I didn't have some big, I didn't have all these things going on for me, but I was there and I had her, and that's what mattered to me. So then 4 years later, so after I had my daughter, I found out that I had polycystic ovary syndrome, which is a massive cyst on your ovaries. That even having my daughter was a shock, because most women that have it tend to not get pregnant. It makes it harder for them to get pregnant, and it makes it harder for you to keep the child. So the fact that I had a miscarriage before her was realization that I was supposed to have her, you know, like she was my rainbow baby. So then after I had her, actually it was like 2 years after I had her, I got pregnant again. And this time I was about 13, 14 weeks, and I started bleeding, I started hemorrhaging, and I went into the hospital, and they put me on the table to check me in and check everything out. And I miscarried right there on the table, like within 30 minutes of going into the hospital. I hemorrhaged so bad that I needed a blood transfusion, that I just blacked out and I don't remember anything that happened. They gave me a blood transfusion to save my life, and that was the hardest miscarriage that I had gone through. Then we skipped to the next step, was about 2 years later after that, I ended up getting pregnant with my son. Now, my son, I had a high-risk pregnancy. Now I'm at the point where I have an incompetent cervix. Struggling with the PCOS and everything like that too. They had to basically sew him in me to make sure I didn't lose him. So it was the worst 9 months of my life, just praying I did not lose him. And he turned out to be a 9-pound, 6-ounce baby, like a ginormous baby.
That's her boy, y'all. Her only boy.
My one and only boy.
Her
the
boy,
one and only boy in the family.
Look at God.
Most amazing.
Look at God.
He's the most amazing boy, though. I mean, he's mama's boy. So then there was my kids. By the time, let's see, I was 30, I finally said I couldn't take it no more. I decided that I couldn't deal with the abuse. Throughout the years, like, for me, it was like I saw and I heard other people in their relationships be like, oh, well, he knocked my teeth out, or, you know, like he almost killed me and these things. So I made excuses for the marriage. I made excuses like, oh, he didn't hurt me that bad, and it's okay. Like, you know, it's just a bruise, or, you know, it wasn't that bad. So I just keep making excuses, you know, I'll stay. Well, he would tell me many times, like, you're trash. You're never going to find anybody better. If you leave, you don't get to take these kids. And so for me, I wouldn't leave. I stayed. And I was scared that if I left, that something would happen to them. He would abuse them, or he would get drunk and crash the car with my kids in the car, things like that. So I stayed. And by the time I hit 30, I finally stood up after my final physical assault from him, when he took me down and he hurt me really bad, to the point where he was choking me and threw me down in front of my son. My son was screaming, crying. He saw it all. And he was the youngest, so unfortunately he always did this in front of him, because he didn't think that he would be able to speak up or say anything about it. And I filed for divorce. So there was my 2 beautiful babies with him. Then throughout the last 5 years since the divorce, almost 6 years, I've been just struggling, trying to deal with how to co-parent with this person. And I moved on. I got a new relationship, and that's where I had my 3rd one. So my 3rd daughter, or 3rd child, is 16 months now. I have my next rainbow baby. I didn't think I'd be able to have more. I didn't expect to have more. She was definitely a surprise, but she's one of the most just amazing kids. Easy, happy, loving, and I wouldn't take any of it back. They are my pride and joys.
And look at you now. And she is, y'all, super mom. She is super mom. She is, we were FaceTiming and doing, she was multitasking. And not only does she do that, she has time to come on here and love on us. She has time to stream. I told her that her testimony is amazing, right? I told her, like, we were talking, and I just told her she's here for a reason. She's here to save those moms who feel like they're not able to do it. She's here to let people know that if they feel like they're stuck in a relationship, because we've all been there, we've all fell in love. It's funny. I was molested from the age of 6 all the way to 13. Um, so when you said that, we bonded, we talked about that, right? We talked about that. Can I have a kid? I don't know. After my son is my miracle baby. So we talked about that. We never even knew if we could bond, so this is our bonding moment. So sharing her story is amazing. And I told her, this is your testimony. You don't know how many other women out there feel that way, how many moms feel that way. We've all loved somebody who broke us down, who makes us feel like we are worthless. So I told Jen, I said, Jen, you don't even understand. You are super mom. Seriously, you are super mom. So first of all, thank you for sharing your story. You don't know how many other people are going to be in there filling up your DMs and saying, thank you for sharing your story, Jen, because you don't know how many people you impacted. And I just want to say, I'm so happy that it didn't happen. Thank you, that I'm still happy that you're still here, that you gave us 3 amazing people that's going to be, you know what, unbelievably strong because of you. You are going to raise 3 freaking amazing children. 2 powerful,
making me cry.
No, seriously, 2 powerful women and 1 bad, I can't say it because we're featured, but 1 little boy that's going to learn to love women, respect women. He's going to be an amazing husband, an amazing father, and you're going to break that cycle. And that's what you're going to do. 3 amazing human beings, Jen. So thank you.
I'm trying my best.
You really are.
One day at a time.
Yep. One day at a time. You really are. Look at all these people. Look at your village. Look at your village.
I love all
here.
the cactus.
look at your village, Jen. Look at your village. Now, do you feel like your kids missed out on a home, on a family?
I feel like I tried so hard to stay within it, to give them that loving family, but they didn't have that staying together. They have family on his side, they have family on my side that all love them, and I feel like the best thing I could have done was to get out of that. It makes me sad not being able to give them that loving relationship and have that family all as a whole in one home, but it was better for me to leave and show them that we both love them outside of each other.
Yep, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. As long as you know that. I just needed you to know that. What advice do you have for other moms going through a similar story like yours?
I struggled a lot because I was pushed to become a hermit. I was pushed to I was not allowed to have friends. I wasn't allowed to really talk to my family. So I was secluded. And when I did come to the point of being able to speak out and tell somebody about what was going on and what was happening in my life, they didn't believe me. and I got backlash for it. I remember vividly like somebody telling me, "What did you do to provoke him?" instead of trying to help me. And I feel like if we spoke about these things more and we talked about these things more, like, and reached out to somebody, hopefully it's not that person that I reached out to, but we need to be a little more open about these things and hold them accountable. And hopefully somebody will hear you and listen and help you realize that you need to be strong and stand up and don't stay in it.
Absolutely. Welcome everyone to It Takes a Village with Jess. We had the amazing Jen. If you guys don't, if you guys do not have her favorite, make sure you guys do. She is an amazing soul. You guys don't even understand. If you guys are interested in being in my show, you guys can hit me up on Instagram. I know you lying. So another thing, did you always want to be a mom?
I think I was scared. I think growing up, we didn't really have much. Sometimes it was hard for my parents to put food on the table. We moved a lot. I went to probably 12 different schools throughout my whole life. I didn't really have a happy childhood that I would say. So I was scared that I couldn't give my children one. But like the moment I had my daughter, I would never take it back. They're the one things that I wake up and that's what brings me joy.
I love it. I love it. I guess we're gonna go back, right? What's the hardest part of losing your two children?
So obviously when you're in the moment and everything that had happened, it's like life can't go on. You struggle with it all. It's sad, it's depressing, there's many tears, all this different stuff. But I've had conversations with my children since all that has happened because they'll be like, I tell them, you have a baby brother or sister in heaven, I've lost babies before, and my thoughts are on it is that I feel like in life we are destined to have so many children or not. There's a plan out there that I was destined to have 3 kids. So for me, even though I lost that child, I tell my kids that I lost that child. It wasn't meant to be at that time, but it came back as my daughter. The next one came back as my son. So even though they couldn't make it at that time, they came back to me at a later time.
Love it. I love it. I guess, okay, so now you get the question, right? How do you define home?
I've always said I could live in a shack. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter all the fancy things we have or whatever it is, as long as we're all together. And, I just want to be with my kids no matter what it is. That's home for me.
I love it. All right. And if you know then, right, if you can tell the Gen now to the younger Gen, if I knew then what I know now, what would it be? You want me to go first?
That I'm stronger than what I thought. That, like, I don't need a man to survive. That I don't need anybody. I mean, obviously, we look to other people for help and support and things like that, but I was so focused on trying to make sure that I had that love in my relationship, opposed to I don't need that love. And I want my kids to know that I always love them and that I'll always support them and that they're strong and that they don't need to rely on a significant other, I guess, in that way.
I
That we
love
could
that.
be strong and independent.
I love that. I love that. Mine's would be that I'm enough for my child, that I've done right by him. I've always thought that because I didn't give him a family, that there was always something missing, right? That I didn't give him that fairy tale family. So I always like felt like there was something missing. So I would tell the younger Jess that I'm enough. I would say to her that you're enough, because I always felt like I wasn't enough. So I always felt like I always had to do for him. So I would tell her that you're enough, Jess. You did right by him. And the only way I know that is because he told me that. So that's funny. So I love that. I love that. All right. All right. You ready? How would you like to be remembered in your children's eyes?
Be remembered. I mean, there's a lot of things that I think about as a parent, and there's a lot of things that they learn from one side of being at their other parent's house and being at mine. And I don't come from lots of money, I don't come from lots of things. I try to teach my kids to be humble and that they don't need every little gadget and all the fancy new toys and everything like that. I want them to think back on those like fun times we got to do. And, you know, maybe it wasn't a big fancy vacation. Say it was just sitting at home playing a board game or cards or something like that. I want them just to think back and realize like how much love we had and that we don't need love from materialistic things.
Oh, I love it, Jen. Love it. I love it. So, there you guys have it. So, anything else that you would like to add to today's show that you want to get off? First and foremost, thank you so much for being vulnerable, for sharing your story, for making me cry. Like woo, I tried
As
to
long
get
as I
off.
wasn't all snotty, I'm good. I'm like, oh, I got through it.
I had to get off stream for a second. I was like, I had to get it together. I put waterproof mascara on for you, Jen. Thank you so much, Jen. Seriously, I'm happy that I got to meet you. This is not the last. You're part of my village, like right here. You guys really are part of me forever now. Just like I say, another guys, welcome to It Takes a Village with Just, y'all. Another thing is, remember guys, I trust my parenting decisions. What works for someone else might not work for us in our family. Jen, this is not just for the show. Like, you really are part of my village. Like, if you need anything, you already know how to contact me. You're stuck with me, just like Booyah stuck with me. You guys really are stuck with me. This is just not for the show. This is seriously, if you need anything, you know where to find me off the app.
That.
So you're stuck with me forever. Yeah, yay. I ain't stuck. You are, Booyah. You are stuck with me.
But we're stuck with him. Man.
Oh yeah, we're stuck with him. We are. Jen, you're amazing. Make sure you guys favor her. I'm excited. Let us know when your show or the games are back on Saturdays. I'm excited for that. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That you came on. Does it make you feel good? You're not so nervous anymore?
Yeah, I'm not that nervous anymore. I started feeling sick. I was like, I gotta feed my face before I get on the show.
No, guys, she called me up. She's like, Jess, I gotta talk to you. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's not gonna do the show now. I got so nervous. I was like, Jen, don't do this to me. I ended up getting nervous. You did amazing. You did amazing. And I see my name in the back of you. Hey,
yep.
Hold on. Hey. Boo, take a picture. Hold on, take a picture. You got it? You got it? Hey. All right. Jen, thank
you.
you so much. If you guys don't have her favorite, thank you. I see the whole Panda crew came through. Hey
know.
y'all, hey Panda family.
Hi.
What does AYP stand for?
Awaken your potential.
Hey, I love it. Queen K, I see you. I see. By the way, Queen K, I love that after your little battle, you guys were laying down with the baby. I saw it. I was like, oh, Panda, hi, Panda. I see you. Panda, I might have to verse you with my little emoji Jess. You gonna like it. But yeah, listen, thank you, Panda family. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Jen.
for having me on.
Likewise. Thank you. Make sure you guys favor her and the whole Awaken Your Potential family. Thank you guys for pulling up. Listen, it takes a family, it takes a village. Every Sunday at 2 p.m. If you guys are interested, make sure you guys pull up. No, you cannot. No, you cannot, Booyah. No, I'm featured. Um, did you guys see that POF featured me today? Did it pop up on your phones if you guys are in POF? Did that pull? Really? Did anyone screenshot that for me? Because I didn't see it. I didn't. I hope that somebody is that. Oh, thank you. You did? SB, if you guys do want to be on my show, listen, let me know. I'm still a little nervous, so I don't ask people to be on my stream or on my show because I get nervous to go to people and ask them to be on my show. So if you guys want to be on my show, please favorite me, hit me up, or Booyah. Let me know if you want to be on my show. I'm still a little shy to ask people to be on my show. I don't know why. I still am. I get nervous, y'all. I still a little nervous. But thank you guys so much for pulling up. Again, it takes a village. There's no perfect book. Okay. Donnie has his featured show. Y'all, if you guys want to learn how to cook, hit Donnie up. It takes a village. Okay. There is, hey, Jasmine. Shout out to my top 3 gifters, Steph. All right. We have Groovy, GQ. We all learn. We learn from our mistakes, our trials and tribulations. There is no book. No one prepares us for everything that we've been through. Jen had an amazing story. MagicalStallion had an amazing story. No one. And guess what? We hit 11K faves on this show today. It was amazing. I just want to say thank you guys for coming every Sunday. It means a lot to me that you guys are here. Seriously. Blue Eye, if you're serious, hit